What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by my friend and fellow Inter Miami fan, Chris. And on behalf of the other guys that aren't here, and us too, we want to thank you for stopping by the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. For those of you watching live on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button if you guys enjoy the show. And huge shout out to our Chief Heron Heads, Mighty V and Dragon Lord. Appreciate the continued generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, check out our Discord server, check out our merch store. All those links are in the description wherever you guys are listening. And this episode is brought to you by Floofball, the up-and-coming dog toy brand for football-loving pups.
Floofball makes soccer-inspired plush toys and bandanas, so your dog can rep your favorite team right alongside you.
Their Floofball Miami collection is perfect for match day, featuring a pink plush soccer ball and team-style bandanas that scream Vamos Miami.
Whether you're at the park or watching the game from the couch, your pup will be looking like a true 12th man.
Grab your pup the soccer kit they deserve at floofball.com. That's FLOOFBALL.com. And receive 10% off your first purchase using code HeronHeads at checkout. So head on over to floofball.com and use Heron Heads at checkout for 10% off your first purchase. And do it to celebrate the fact that Inter Miami are off to their first MLS Cup Final in club history. Their illustrious club history. What an evening, man. Chris. What an evening.
Oh, that was a match. If that was a match if I've ever seen one. I mean, it had its butt clenching moments. It had its fireworks. It had its kind of relaxing, peaceful moment at the end when we knew that we got it. That was a hell of a match, man. That was fun to watch. The team came out to play. I know our Discord, if you're not on it, check it out. It was really fun tonight. The Discord was kind of getting all unsettled and nervous, and I kept telling them, relax. Like, we look fine. Yes, they're putting pressure, but it's because they were down. They needed to put pressure. So I think we look great. You know, we kept on what we've seen the last two matches now that we've scored or that we've won by 4 points, right? It was Nashville last week against Cincinnati, and then this week against NYCFC. So, I mean, this team's rolling right now, and this is the perfect time to be rolling. It was an incredible match. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that this would be on the back of Tadeo Allende? But we got to start there because he was the star of the show. And the goals, they were saying it on the broadcast, like deep into the second half. I mean, the goals were all against the run of play.
Yeah.
And the first one comes off a ball over the top from Busi that takes like maybe a fortuitous bounce, right? Off of the defender. Maybe he misreads it, whatever. And Allende picks it up in the box, still with the defender sort of on his shoulder, with a lot of work to do. And he crushes it near post. Yep. I had a delayed reaction because it was one of those ones where I'm like, did it go in? Did it hit the like banner on the back and go into the back of the net? And then I realized that he scored, and I'm like, no way Allende did that. But then you sort of look at the stats and you're like, yeah, that's his 6th goal of the playoffs. And he's been on fire.
He wasn't just a savior tonight. Honestly, he's been the savior throughout the whole playoff run. He's scored, I forgot what the number is, but he scored an insane amount of goals this playoffs. And he's been, besides Messi, he's been the absolute just the guy who sets the tone, honestly, on the attack throughout the whole playoffs. So shout out to Aende. Never would have thought we'd be saying that at the end of the season, to be honest. Honestly, didn't think we'd be here right now at this point in the season after the bumps and bruises that we've gotten throughout the season. But here we are, man. We're going to the final, and let's see who we play. The two teams are playing right now, Vancouver Whitecaps and San Diego. So we'll see. They're both very, very good teams, but hell of a match tonight.
Well, first off, thank you to Escape God for the super chat. And he says, as long as we don't play Messi's dad, Mueller, we will win. And we shall see. I think Vancouver is really like the perfect closing of the loose end for Inter Miami to face. Yeah. I think it would be very poetic. However, there is some good storylines of San Diego make it because there's so many Inter Miami transplants in the San Diego squad that would be really interesting to see. But Vancouver's got a good squad. We'll see how everything plays out. We're live right now as the match is either underway or shortly underway.
Yeah.
But
It just started, I think.
yeah, they probably just kicked off because
And it still has not started.
Perfect. So, yeah, we'll get to the numbers for Allende because he's doing something literally historic for the MLS. So we'll get to the numbers as we progress through talking about this match because he wasn't done. And we get shortly after a lot of like hecticness going on. This was after like the big scuffle, right? And Chelo gets the yellow card, needless yellow card. But
I
it's
still don't know what the scuffle was about. It
so weird.
It felt like 10 minutes of them just going back and forth.
And
I'm not sure what it was about.
Messi was really upset at Maxi Morales.
Yeah.
And they were chirping each other. And I wonder if Chelo was just trying to stick up for him, but like he went way too aggressive with it as he does. So anyway, so on a relatively quick restart afterwards, Jordi Alba plays an incredible ball across the box. And again, Allende gets on the end of it with still a lot of work to do. And he hits the perfect header to get it just past the outstretched fingers of Freeze and scores to make it 2-0 out of nowhere because, again, this was very against the run of play. And it felt like although we were managing and dominating possession, really, we hadn't created chances outside of the first goal. So then this goal comes and you're like, this is awesome. Yeah. And Allende again, right man, right time, right position, perfect shot. And I can't believe it's him.
It's one of those shots that we saw him screw up all season long. That's the exact shot. He would have never kept that on his feet. Yes, maybe there was a little bit of luck in there, but he would have never kept it on his feet. He would have never kept the composure and scored that goal. Just I don't know.
That's
something's going through him right now in the playoffs, and I love it.
It's such a difficult technique because you're sort of hitting like a glancing header off the top of your head, but you're still angling it sort of towards the back post. It was just incredible to see him of all people because you see him, like you said, you see him miss that so many times this season. I mean, even the first goal, we see him hit the side of the net a billion times, it feels like. And he buries it past Freeze and past an NYCFC defense that had only allowed one goal heading into this match. And all of a sudden, we double that with 2 Allende goals. And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah. And that's a great point, too. The fact that they've allowed one goal all playoffs. That's another reason I was like, guys, relax. In the Discord, everyone's going crazy. But, man, we're playing very good against this defense that has managed to win away, I think. And all of their wins this postseason has been away. And only allowed one goal. So what we're doing right now against this team at this point of the game was fine. You know, we went into halftime like this and it was fine. I was happy with it. Yeah, I know we wanted all the fireworks early on, 5 goals or whatever, but it's not going to happen every match. And this is a perfect example. Obviously, at the end, it just got out of hand. But the team played very, very well today against a very good team.
Well, before we get to halftime, New York strike back again against the run of play off of a free kick. And when they scored this free kick, this is why I panicked, because I was one of the people that maybe panic's not the right word, but I got a little brought back down to earth. And I was like, okay, like this is still a very good team. This is still a team that's capable of coming back and making us sweat and making us second guess ourselves, because they score off of a set piece, which is something that has afflicted this Inter Miami team since Messi joined. We are not a very big team at all. And in that moment, honestly, Rios Novo, who we'll obviously get to with another moment later, but in that moment, I thought a bigger goalkeeper makes that save, because it wasn't directly at him. It was a little off to one side. I think it was off to his left, but it was past his outstretched hands. It was very like close quarters, difficult save regardless of who's in net, but I thought his size worked against him there. And I was like, okay, like all these goals have been kind of just random bounces of the ball. And now it's going to be like tactics get involved. And when it comes to tactics, I'm always sort of unsure about what Mascherano can do and how he stacks up against other managers. So that's why at halftime I was like, okay, like we'll see how we come out. I obviously still feel good because we're winning, but it certainly brought me back down to earth.
Yeah, but that's actually the reason why I wasn't super worried, because I thought the defense had played very well up until that point. They didn't really give up too many horrible chances. We saw, I don't know if it was the first half or the second half, that the Chelo and the Maxi, was it? No, it was, sorry,
That was
Rocco and
yes.
Maxi.
That was the second.
Yeah, so
So
that
in
was
the start of
that
the
was later
second,
on.
and that was scary. Like we came
That
out
was
of
scary.
halftime very flat and very like nervy, and all the passes seemed off. We had some really bad turnovers. And what time was this third goal scored? Yeah, 67th minute.
67.
So it was like 10, 15 minutes of really nervy play. And then all of a sudden we get to mid 60s, right? As far as minutes go. And Rios Novo makes what is, like Henry said here, the turning point of the match, where they have a ball that goes across the box, New York does, and the ball that is struck goes back across Rios Novo, and he makes a very good and very clutch diving save that he gets a strong hand to it, and it saves it from becoming a tied game. And shortly thereafter, we go the other way, and Silvetti scores the third off of a messy pass. I mean, we are all over their penalty box. It's Rodrigo de Paul on the right, hits it all the way across to Alba, if I'm not mistaken, who plays it back to the middle to Messi. Messi's in the middle of the box. He's marked, but he has enough space to turn and find Silvetti, who is in the perfect position with no one around him, and he buries the shot crossbody on Freeze. It was beautiful.
I told my wife, as soon as Alba got the ball into the center to Messi, I was like, this is dangerous, because I knew either Messi was going to shoot the ball from, because he had enough space. We've seen him score in tighter positions. He was either going to shoot the ball or find someone that's going to be wide open. And obviously he found Silvetti. Beautiful shot, beautiful play all the way across from everybody, really. I mean, that was outstanding. So as soon as I saw him get the ball, I was like, oh, this is dangerous. And 2 seconds later, boom.
Well, it's really good from DePaul to play it all the way, because Alba was uncovered, right? But you have to hit it across all the defenders, all the offensive players that are in the box. Alba gets it with enough time to look up. And if he's able to do that, you're dead.
Yeah.
And of course, Messi's the one that he finds. And like you said, with the ball at his feet in that position, he's either going to do something dangerous himself or make the smart play and find the wide open other player. And I think that's the big story from tonight, is the others. And we talked about it all season, that if the others are able to perform in these sorts of moments, because New York did a tremendous job of, as the broadcast said, playing around Messi and playing a lot of like ball denial and making it difficult for Messi to get clear opportunities to get the ball and turn up the pitch. But the others stepped up. Aende stepped up. Silvetti has been stepping up. And the others really were able to take advantage of the gravity that these other players have. And that was monumental in tonight's match.
Yeah, it's 100%. It was the others that did it today, but we can't help but to go back and looking at this lineup. And what's the biggest changes? Luis Suarez is not out there once again. It's something we've been waiting for all season long, and now it's 3 matches in a row he has not been out there. And the other guys, especially Silvetti's playing out of his mind right now. Obviously, Allende is doing his thing, but Silvetti, I think, has been a key contributor to the run of play right now, and just the form that we're in. And it's all because Suarez took the seat that we've been calling for, and Silvetti has started. We found someone that's capable to really attack, move forward, have some pace with the ball, and then obviously Allende is able to do his thing without Suarez on there. So I think that's the key right now too. The others are allowed to do their thing because Suarez has taken a seat finally.
And again, huge credit to Mascherano. And coming out of the half, credit to Mascherano for making good, timely substitutions. At the 57th minute, he subs off Chelo, who has the yellow card, and Noah, who was playing fine but also had a yellow card, in exchange for Ian Frey and Yannick Bright. And then following the third goal, he brings on Segovia for Baltasar, who had also just picked up a yellow card and played a pretty poor match, in my opinion. I thought he was really disjointed from that left side all night. And man, like, again, another thing that I didn't think I would be saying, but I'm very happy to be saying, that Mascherano is doing a good job. He has been consistent with his benching of Suarez, which has been tremendous and yielded obviously huge results for the offense of Inter Miami. But the substitutions tonight, I thought were spot on. I mean, Chelo, we all know how we feel about Chelo, but like tonight was specifically an evening where he needed to get subbed off at that point because it felt like a second yellow was coming. And if not that, you also just want to have better defensive structure, and Chelo doesn't offer that like Frey does. So I gotta give good props to Mascherano, and then it paid additional dividends in that Segovia scores the fourth goal, and what a goal! Do you want to talk about the Segovia goal off the Alba assist?
It's absolutely insane. It was to Messi, right? First,
yes,
it was. I forgot who gave it to Messi, but it was from the right side of the field down to Messi, right in the middle, and Messi's gonna find his guy. Alba is he finds Segovia. Alba's running like his hair is on fire. I love watching Alba run in the open field like that because he puts his head back and he's running right down the field. Segovia's dribbling, and he finds Alba running down the middle. And this interplay between him and Segovia is just absolutely beautiful. I thought they were gonna go to DePaul, who was wide open on the bottom, on the right side of the pitch. But no, they didn't. So they just interplay between Segovia, Alba. They kind of do a little switch where Segovia kind of comes back into the middle, and that's where he's able to hit the ball in the back of the net. Beautiful, beautiful interplay between everything. It all started with Messi finding Segovia right on the left side, just running down. So beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and Alba's pass, I mean, it was like the perfectly weighted back heel. And it's just like, as soon as he did it, you're like, oh my gosh. Because Freeze was frozen on the left post. And Alba just drops it into like on the penalty spot effectively. And Segovia just has the entire goal gaping in front of him. And he just slots it into the right-hand side. And it was just beautiful.
That switch that they did was so clean. Well, it was so well played. And then the back heel obviously was incredible. But the switch that they did to allow the back heel to work was beautiful.
And it was funny because I'm watching it, right? And Segovia's carrying it. And it was kind of like a one-on-one. But you see Alba like really pushing up. And I'm like, Alba's gonna run out of gas. And he started to lose steam, but he was still carrying good pace. And he does that where he crosses in front of Segovia to try to open it up. Segovia, I thought, did a good job of laying it off to him. And then the touch that Alba made was just ridiculous.
Yeah. I really thought they were gonna pass it to DePaul. DePaul was insanely open on the bottom, but they made it work. It was amazing to watch.
Gorgeous. I mean, it was one of those plays that you're like, yeah, that's a world-class player. Just showing off something that he's still got. Just unbelievable.
Alba played incredible tonight. I thought he had a very, very, very good game, and it's one of those things we're just gonna miss so bad. And I don't care who we're gonna bring in; it's not gonna be the same. But games like tonight is why we're definitely gonna miss Alba more so than really anyone else that's gonna leave right now.
I think with some of these like vet players, they're able to like turn the screw. And like once they have the foot on the neck, able to really press down. Whereas some of the younger guys that haven't been in positions like this before, they have a hard time really like squeezing out the games. But you see the Albas and the Busquets, even just the little like dark arts, like time wasting things that they do. That's so valuable. And being able to take a 3-goal lead, I mean, that was the dagger. Because when you're up 2, the most dangerous lead in sports. But once you're up 3 at that point, you had done such a good job of shutting down the NYCFC offense, really. The only opportunities they got were mistakes that you had made yourself. You had done such a good job. That 3rd goal, or really the 4th goal that put us up 3, that just ended it. And then
the cherry on top.
The cherry on top of all people, Chris, of all people. Was it Messi on the assist? No, it was Yannick Bright on the assist.
Yeah.
Which, God, I mean... the perfect game for exactly the things I like. Yannick Bright finds Aende with a beautiful through ball.
Insane.
And Allende's in behind. Even still, after he scored 2 goals and has scored 7 across the playoffs, even still, I'm like, Allende's going to find a way to fumble this. But no, he dinks it over Freeze, the most perfect scary Larry you've ever seen in your life, and scores his hat trick. I can't believe it.
It goes back to Aende has missed that so many times this season, but he was able to scary lariat over Freeze and just finish it beautifully. But again, he would not have made that earlier in the season. He just wouldn't have.
No, Like a month ago, he wouldn't have made that.
It's the hat trick we don't deserve, but the hat trick we needed.
Right? Just a quick note here. Vancouver is up 2-0 in the 11th minute against San Diego. So early, it's looking like we're going to be facing Vancouver, which I think would be just storyline wise a juicy matchup. But yeah, Allende scores his hat trick. I cannot believe it. And no stoppage time is given, which I thought was, I don't know what you're adding time for, like maybe the goal celebrations, but it was a very, I think, fair decision there by the referee, who I didn't think was the best. Very quick trigger finger on the yellow cards early in the game.
A lot of yellow cards,
But what a freaking match. And I oh man, it just feels good. There's so many emotions of like, man, I'm just so pumped that this team did it this year to get to the finals. Obviously, we still have one more match to play. And this will be the final match, presumably, in the career of Busquets and Alba, and it will be in a cup final, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's just the ups and downs we went through this season. You know, all the cups that we missed, multiple cups. What is it? 4 cups that we've missed right now, up to now. And to be here is just, it just feels so nice and so refreshing to finally able to celebrate something. Obviously, it's not done. It's not done. We still have one more match. We got the final. It's very important, obviously, but just to feel that emotion again, because there was a time there that I think everyone was just feeling kind of down about this team. Everyone was just down in the dumps. They weren't showing what we know that they could do. Mascherano was not doing it. You know, Suarez, we had it up to here with him already, and it's what a turnaround this playoffs. They're showing what they should have done really all season. Mind you, they still had a good season. They were third in the MLS. But they're showing the dominance that we've been wanting. You know, we haven't seen that dominance all season, and the playoffs, which is a great time to do it, they are showing absolute dominance. They are tearing apart teams, and that's what we need to do right now.
Yeah, I think the frustrating part earlier in the season was the lack of consistency, and the last 3 matches we've seen in the playoffs have been the complete opposite. It has been as consistent of dominance as you would expect from this team when you see the names that they have on paper on the starting lineup. And just a few notes, because if you follow the MLS PR and communications account on X, they tweeted a bunch of stuff today about all the records that Inter Miami broke. And the 2 noteworthy ones are Aende has tied the single postseason MLS record for scoring with 8 goals in a single postseason, tying Carlos Ruiz all the way back in 2002. And then as of tonight, we have scored 98 total regular season and postseason goals, which is the most in a single season in MLS history.
Wow.
And we look to build on that in the final, but ridiculous. And the consistency that we're showing in the last 3 matches, 4-0, 4-0, 5-1 in 3 matches is just outrageous. And again, this NYCFC team had allowed 1 goal all postseason long. And we put 5 past them tonight.
Away in every match, which is you just got to mention that, right? And one last thing, I got to give a shout out to this defense. I know we allowed that goal tonight. It was a set piece goal, which we know is our weakness, like we spoke about a little while ago. But man, our defense has been playing lights out. We had a few little mistakes today that you know, it caused some scary scenes. Nothing came out of it, which is good. But our defense has been playing great. You know, at backline, Falcon, Noah Allen, I think have been spot on. Last match, Allen had some struggles because of the size difference, in my opinion, with Denki. But today, I thought it was a very well played match. I thought the matches were very good. He matched up well with them. He has that speed to counter their pace, obviously. And man, our defense has been playing lights out. Even Alba was going back on defense. You know, Cello's fine today. Honestly, he had the yellow, but he was fine today. But I also attribute it a lot to these young guys that are playing. When Suarez and Messi are out there together, there's no pressing that's going on. You know, it's very difficult to really put the pressure on to this team with both of them out there. Suarez, he obviously doesn't have it in him. It's hard to do. Messi, we know he doesn't do it. He kind of walks around, scans the pitch. He doesn't defend too often. He doesn't press very often, although we've seen him in the last couple of games doing it. But I think I attribute it to the young guys. The young guys have really, really been pressing hard. They've been attacking the guy with the ball in front of them. and they've been relentless. So, man, defense has been playing lights out. Again, next game is going to be more difficult, I think. But to this day, to this game, I think our defense has been playing great.
Yeah, and to the point, the goal itself was a mistake from Silvetti in his man marking, not from a defender necessarily. So, yeah, all the credit in the world to the defense right now. They're playing extremely well, and I think their ability to scramble when they do make mistakes has helped them a lot. Because when they made the really egregious mistake when it was Novo to Falcon, New York didn't get a shot off.
Yeah, they figured it out,
which is crazy because the position they picked up the ball in, it was 2-on-none. And they were able to scramble back and cover it. So, yeah, pretty impressive stuff from the defense. So, should we get into the most and least of the match?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
And now it's time for Jose's most and least of the match, presented by SofaScore. So, all right, the most and least of the match. Do you want to start with the most or the least?
Let's start with the least. Let's leave the fun stuff to the end.
All right. Well, we do have a few to choose from, but there is one clear choice here. Who do you have?
It is a little more difficult than last time, or it's not more difficult. Last time it was more difficult because everyone played so well. Today I'm going to go. I think you mentioned him. Is going to be probably Baltasar. I kind of want to go Cello, but I don't think he did too horrible today. So I'm going to go with Baltasar. I think he's definitely the least. He was non-existent.
You're spot on. Baltasar was a 6.1 today. Cello was a 6.7. And in between those two is Noah Allen with a 6.6.
Wow, but yeah, he played all right.
He
had a yellow.
He had a yellow. Cello had a yellow. And Baltasar had a yellow. So all three had a yellow. Yeah. We had Silvetti with a 6.8, which I thought he played like marginally better than that. Even without the goal, I thought he was certainly a step better than Baltasar. But I thought he had his fingerprints more on the match, especially as the match grew on. And Busquets also had a 6.8 despite his assist early on. But yeah, Baltasar was definitely the least of the match. He just felt very out of sync with everyone.
Yeah, Mem 5860 says Baltasar helps on defense. Disagree with the least. He does help with defense, but these ratings, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, take them with a grain of salt. Yeah. It's based on did they complete dribbles? Did they complete passes? It's not necessarily all the things that they do on the pitch, like quantified. But yeah, I just thought there are definitely matches where he has way more impact. Tonight simply wasn't one of those, and it had a lot to do with New York was pushing all the play to the wings. They were just pushing it to the wings, and it was a lot of Jordi Alba, and it was a lot of Rodrigo De Paul and Cello on the right. And Baltasar just wasn't able to really get in sync with Jordi.
Yeah.
But most of the match, who do you got? I think another very clear
and obvious Allende, the hat trick.
Unbelievable.
Who did you look at the scores already? Do you know who the second one is?
I did.
Okay, so I'll go with the second one. If I'm gonna give a second one besides Allende, I'd probably go with. I like the way Jordi played a lot today. I think I'd go with Jordi.
Yeah, you spot on, Chris. Yeah. Very good. Right. Aende 9.0, Alba 7.7 with the 2 assists. Yeah. And then Messi 7.4. Those are your top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you say about Aende? Just unbelievable form he's in right now. And it is truly elevating us to the finals. Like it is taking us to the finals off his boot. Yep. Who would have guessed? Not me.
He is the striker that we've been
waiting for.
Thirsty for. I don't know what other words to use, but he's the one that we've been waiting for. We've been dying for someone like that to do it. And who would have thought that it was him? It's just beautiful to watch. It's so nice and refreshing.
Yeah, and like you said, Alba had a great game tonight. Yeah. Was it against Cincinnati that he didn't have his best match? I think it was.
Yeah, he didn't have a great match against Cincinnati.
But tonight, I mean, he was just a magician on the left-hand side. Yeah. Rios Novo and Rodrigo De Paul, 7.1 for each. Both had obviously impact on the game. Yeah, Dios Novo. I mean, another person that, like, entering the season, you would have been like, he will never see the pitch. And now he's making huge game-changing moment saves in the semifinals or the conference finals of the MLS Cup playoffs.
And he's being noticed too. I've seen a lot of little articles and stuff, talking about him, bringing him up to national teams and whatnot. I think he could play in like 2 or 3 different countries, if I'm not mistaken. But he's been playing out, he's been showing out, and he's getting noticed, definitely getting noticed. And props to him, man. I would have never expected it. We all said, he seems a little too small for the position, but I think he makes up for all of that with his positioning. His passing's pretty good, besides that one pass.
Yes,
today. His positioning and his reaction's really good too. His reaction's very, very good. So his size, he makes up for all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I am one of those storylines that makes you like really happy for that particular player. There's so many interesting things heading into this final, and I would imagine we'll dive a little bit deeper as we do a preview for that one, probably Wednesday this week. But man, what a fun night. And it was funny because when we were up 2-1, I was just thinking, I was like, it was so much nicer when we were up like 3-0, 4-0 against Cincinnati and against Nashville. I really wish we could experience that again. And then all of a sudden it was like, we got over the hump of the very scary moments of New York almost equalizing. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, we're back. This is awesome again. This is so much fun.
They just didn't want us to get too confident. They needed to clinch our butts just a little bit.
That's right.
And then relief at the end. Mr. Mani, I hope you're right. We need to win this, man. This is the one that we need. We've had a rough season, rough in quotation marks for our standards. We need it. This is the one that we need to win.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the other ones, when you like zoom out, you're like, oh wow, like the CONCACAF Champions Cup would be a ridiculous win, meaning like it would certainly supersede the MLS Cup. Obviously the Club World Cup would have been another like outrageous thing to do that I don't think is necessarily realistic. Leagues Cup, whatever, compared to the MLS Cup, but this one means a lot. They all mean a lot, right? But I think if you had asked at the beginning of the season, like which ones would you put the most weight on, it would be those 3. And then realistically, Club World Cup was never going to happen. But the CONCACAF Champions Cup and the MLS Cup are probably the 2 most important ones.
Yeah, and we'll see what the next after all this happens, what the squad will look like next season too. But I think the focus should definitely be on CONCACAF if you really want to take that next step. Yeah. If let's say we win the MLS Cup this season and all that, you really got to move your focus to the CONCACAF to really stamp your name into history, and we'll see how it looks. There's it's gonna be a lot of moving parts. We'll talk about that later, but good stuff, man.
Yeah, pretty awesome evening for the club. They technically lifted a trophy tonight, but one that doesn't really have a lot of weight to it. And we shall see what happens in the rest of this San Diego and Vancouver match. But as of right now, it looks like we will be taking on Vancouver. They still lead 2-0. And we'll catch you guys in the midweek for the preview of the final, which is exciting. And we'll probably try to find a way to make our way over to Chase Stadium, as we will be hosting. And until then, hope everyone has a really great rest of your weekend. And thank you guys for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. If you guys are still listening and watching on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button if you guys enjoyed the show. For those of you on audio, please leave a nice little rating for us. It greatly helps, and we greatly appreciate it. And until Wednesday, have a good one.